How you doing, Sean? You good to go?
Uh, yeah, you brought in the characters from this afternoon.
Oh, are you updated? Pardon me. I can do that right
I
now.
updated about an hour ago.
Not a problem. Takes me like 3 seconds. Yours is processing now. Anybody else needing an upgrade to level 3? Or is everybody
Um,
good?
nope, I am all set.
All right, you're upgraded to Rogue 3. And you are on the map as well, sir. And I don't know if you heard me there, Sean, but you guys got some options. You could continue your side quest to the theater. You could continue your investigations. You have two people I think you were chasing, pursuing, or at least trying to figure out where they're going. And you have Sean has the ability to do a side quest as well if he wanted to.
Sean, would you like to do yours or
I
your move of
am going
action?
to be kind of taking care of a baby while we're playing, so I don't think I'm not gonna be highly focused.
Okay.
Maybe we do that.
Oh.
All right. Well, we can let Sean do that now or any next time we play. There's no
Yeah.
rush on either one. You guys are allowed to do these whenever you feel like.
I feel like I'd rather be my head in the game,
That's fair.
and I won't be able to do that.
No problem. Okay, so let's pause again on the theater, and you guys let me know what you'd like to do.
You can use the dryer.
Let's see.
Where do we leave off last time? I'm struggling to remember what the situation was because I don't see.
So
I can't
basically,
find
a large
the map.
explosion knocked a few of you out of bed. There's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
troops all around looking at the area. There were 7 bodies that were described to you. There was some information given to you by a child, a girl, and one of the local shopkeepers.
Yeah,
And
we did
along
some
the
chasing
Yep.
down of the metal guy on the rooftop.
Yep, and then you just couldn't catch up, and all of a sudden you saw him way off in the distance on the top of the building, and then he jumped down. You got a good look at him, so you know what he is in a vague sense. You also know of another person who left the scene after taking something from the scene but was wounded, and he staggered off.
Bit of a detour question. Not about the game, but about the rules. With the upcoming player's handbook being released in November, when it comes out, are we going to start using that new handbook, or are we going to continue using the current handbook for this campaign?
I hadn't planned on making any changes, both because of my education into the old handbook. I didn't want to have to learn something new mid stride, and also I didn't know how that would affect this adventure for what may or may not have changed.
Okay.
Yep.
So, for the time being, stick with the current handbook.
If that's okay
No
with
reason to
everybody.
update.
I
Okay.
mean, I don't even, honest to God, I don't even know anything about it, about what changes are changed in any
got-
sense that.
From what I was able to get a sneak peek at some of the stuff about it, and like certain races get new abilities and opportunities, and certain races get the chance to use spells themselves instead of the class.
Okay.
Yeah, like one of the features for Dragonborns I know is that they can sprout wings at level 5 that last for 10 minutes.
If we go to the new rules, we basically have to rebuild our characters.
Yeah, that's the other concern.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can discuss it
Yeah.
when we finish this adventure at level 5, and you could come in on your level 5 characters for the next half, but without any knowledge, I can't even give you a guess, because I don't even know if it's better, worse, totally awesome, we really should do it, or it would be mediocre difference and just new things to learn.
Fine by me. Just curious.
And in the recap, what did we learn knocking on all these doors around here?
Okay, let me give you, I guess, some things here. I'll take the 3 main witnesses and I will read you their statements that you've already garnered. From Phala, she is the one who runs the apothecary, has the plans, and will sell you potions. I was watering plants in the greenhouse on the second floor of my shop when the blast blew out some of the windows. Luckily, I wasn't injured. Through the smoke, I saw a cloaked man take something from the body of a dead gnome on the street, then started limping away to the east. He was badly burned and cast glances over his shoulder, like he was afraid someone might be following him. He was headed towards the bent nail. From the 12-year-old boy who heard something plop into his barrel that you've recovered. Right after the explosion, I ducked behind this rain barrel. Then I heard a plop, and I found this in the barrel. And from a young girl who was just outside the blast radius, I tell you, it was not a man, more like a puppet shaped like a man, a puppet without strings. It was on the rooftop. It hurled something into the crowd below that caused the explosion. I saw those halflings burned alive. I saw them.
Oh yeah, and then I think we met up
Yeah.
with the leader of the Lord's Alliance, perhaps, or our contact, and relayed this, and they're like, "Oh yes, that sounds like the work of thus and such
Yeah,
person."
we visited Force Gray, and they gave us like this is an organization that makes that type of thing.
Yes, so you talked to them and you learned about the mechanical man and the group that probably made him, or at least is very much into such things and would know more about it.
When we split up and did that, and me and Jensen stayed behind to like knock on all the doors in this alley.
Yep.
I thought you said one person said they seen something.
Yes, they saw the wounded man go off to the east and through the alley and continue
Yeah.
on to the east. So you know that he basically left this way and did not exit south to the grating sewer access that you guys both know about. And the name of the place that was suggested that might have made that mechanical man is called the House of Inspired Hands, of which everyone knows where it is because it's huge.
Did we recognize the damage type? Was it mechanical, spell?
Oh, of the explosion?
Fire.
Yes, I believe. I mean, it was very fiery and explosion damage, and somebody rolled, and I determined that it was indeed magical. And where was that? Wait a minute. Evocation. Somebody rolled well, and I gave you evocation for the spell type.
Yeah, and then we found the necklace of fireballs.
Ah. Smoking gun. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you've got a few prominent leads that you could attempt to run down. Well, you got one prominent lead and some mediocre leads. Oh, and you determined also that the 7 victims, as they were taken away in a cart, all had gentle repose cast upon them, and you surmise they are probably being taken to the city morgue.
To the city morgue.
Yes. You heard Barnabas and his partner CF talking about what to do next, and that's where they were sending them when you were shooed away.
Ah, cool. I think I've got that all written down.
Beautiful. That is a big, big help. So, any desires to go anywhere or talk to anyone else? Bother the members of the watch? See what other intelligence you can get?
Trying to think of like the best place to go to find the guy.
Aloysius clutches the beads of the necklace and says, "Let's go visit the House of Inspiration," or
Inspired
hands.
hands.
"Yeah, let's go visit the Inspired Hands and blow them to hell."
All right, calm down there, Pyro. And that's what Balazar says to him. Let's call blow him up Plan B. Let's call Plan A try to get any intel we can. And if they refuse to give it up, then we can blow them up.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a good
Yeah,
plan.
that sounds fair.
Yep.
Plan A
And
could
then-
lead into Plan B.
Yeah. And even, after they give us the information that we're wanting, if you're still feeling a little, trigger happy, then you can blow them up.
That sounds like a plan. Oh, wait a minute. Fix that. There. Now you'll be able to see. Sorry. Didn't want to make that same mistake again.
All right. Well, let's go talk to the Inspired Hands and figure out what's going on.
Agreed.
Like,
There. Now it's a door.
we don't even necessarily know if
Where's
he
the
was, if the mechanical man was sent as an agent of theirs, or if it had gone rogue.
The House of
We will give them the opportunity
how'd that show up?
to make their excuses.
What's the matter, Matthew?
My short sword just randomly showed up.
You got me. However, you now find yourself in front of the House of Inspired Hands. It looks like a cross between a temple and a workshop. A symbol of Gon, the toothed cog with 4 spokes, is displayed prominently. You see the silhouette of a humanoid shape perched atop the rooftop. It extends its arms, releasing a tiny metal sparrow into the sky. The bird does a few loops in the air, and then veers straight for you. Everybody please roll a d20.
Say why we're rolling a d20?
Because a bird is veering straight for you.
Someone can roll for me.
I gotcha.
I'm still loading in.
Yeah, it took me a while even.
Oh, you're not loaded in yet? No problem. Tell me when you're good.
My character says to the group, "Hey guys, there's a fancy little fountain-looking thingy over here."
Well, we're getting attacked by bomb right now, right?
The bird begins to accelerate, picking up speed, pulling its wings in close tight. It's aiming straight for Aloysius.
I'm
Firebolt.
loaded in now.
Give me a roll to hit. It is about 60 feet away right now.
I'm going to cast Sanctuary on Aloysius.
I can't. I have nothing to target, so it's not letting me click it.
I didn't think of that.
Wait. No, I wasn't selected. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Your firebolt cleanly hits. Give me a damage. The bird bursts into a collection of thin shavings of metal and gears and slowly flutters to the ground.
Aloysius Alois just clutches the beads of the necklace even tighter.
You see the Nimblewright on the roof draw in through some sort of hatch and disappear.
Al, calm down.
Ooh.
Alright, you have plenty of chances to use your new toy later. Alright.
Oh, everybody's wandering down here.
Well, I was trying to see
You're all
what's through
standing
this
in front of
door.
the main door of the temple.
Where's my owl?
I'd like to
Right
reach my
here?
hand out to try to open the door, see if it's locked.
All right, open it up.
Ooh. Hey guys, it's open.
As you open the door, you're greeted by a wondrous sight. This hall is filled with the most amazing of mechanical devices. You are greeted by a woman to your left who gives a deep bow and releases a songbird that flutters around ever so slowly in the air, playing the most amazing music. You see unbelievable sights. A 4-foot-tall working model of a clock tower rings the time. It's made of wood, iron, and bronze and glass, and has bells and delicate hands formed from solid gold. A wooden flying machine with huge wings suspended from the ceiling. A miniature model of a dragon turtle with a brass plate affixed to its pedestal reads Big Belchy sank in Deepwater Harbor on the Day of Wonders, 1363 DR. There's a functioning walking helmet display with a small articulated metal arms and hands that gently slaps the wearer if she falls asleep. You see other strange demonstrations. The woman rises from her bow and says, I am Valette. Please, please, welcome to the House of Inspired Hands. Allow me to show you around our most wonderful things. We're always looking for new applicants. How can I help you otherwise?
There was a
Should we accuse them outright? Or-
man or a machine we saw not too long ago. We believe whatever it was, caused an explosion in town.
Truly, describe them to me. I am concerned by this.
They looked like they were made of metal. They wore a reddish cloak with a big fancy hat and a feather sticking out.
Her face
Like a
pales
puppet
and she
without
steps back.
strings.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Her face pales and she takes a step back. She seems a bit concerned by this. You easily surmise she knows what you're talking about. She covers her mouth with a hand and then looks down. She says, that would be Nim. He is a Nimblewright of far superior design than anything we've been able to create here. It was gifted to us from a Latinese wizard from the temple. We don't know why and how he can make such things, but we've been studying here. I can show you his room. It's upstairs.
Yes, please. That would be much helpful.
Yeah.
If you'll follow me, and then she leads you through all of the displays. You even see a miniature model of a red submarine shaped like a manta ray. It has a brass plate affixed to its pedestal that reads, the Scarlet Marpoth, Latinese submersible, launched 1489 DR. You also see many other interesting devices, some spark, some interesting, some that look dangerous. It's difficult to tell.
Wow. This is a marvelous place.
Ooh.
Can't believe I've never been in here before.
Sorry.
Town is very big.
She leads you over to a stairwell that rides up to the bell tower in the area you've seen before.
The door seems to be locked, miss.
Nim, open up, she bangs on the door. You can hear banging and movement within.
I don't know where
Donovan.
everyone went to.
Donovan.
They went up the stairs in the middle.
Go up the stairs.
Donovan, you care to pick this lock?
Sure.
Well, there's a lady up here with us.
Nim, open this door right now. I don't know how he has it locked. That's not supposed to be a lockable door, but it is a very clever construct.
Describe the door in detail.
It's simple wooden door with much metal banding all across it. It has no doorknob or keyhole on this side. It looks like you should just be able to push it open.
Wizard, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't there some type of spell that can lock doors for a while?
Yeah, there are. Give me one moment. I did not update my toolbar.
I guess I'll investigate the door.
It's oak. It's multiple planks. It has steel rivets driven through it and steel banding to hold it all together. The hinges appear to be on the other side, so you can't see them. There is no doorknob, keyhole, or other such thing.
Aloysius is pissed off and impatient.
All right.
So I don't need to make an investigation check or anything.
You're casting knock. Now,
Yep.
here's the trouble I'm having. I'm not certain how to argue with you or not that this would work. I'll kind of give it away. The door is not locked. It's just got stuff in front of it.
All right. If you want to take that back, I'm ready to do a strength check and try to break the door down.
Nope, it was a valid attempt. I wasn't gonna know it wasn't gonna work without trying.
All right. So the door doesn't unlock, and feel free to roll for a strength check.
Oh, come on.
You hurt your shoulder.
Ah, son of a...
That makes a bit more progress. You're able to slam into it, and it slides forward at least half an inch, just enough that you can get a little bit of light. You feel like it made several things shift on the other side. You could hear the rattling of boxes and maybe something that fell over a little bit.
Seems like
Do a
there's
health action with
bookshelf or something in the
the
way.
strong person.
Can we see him through the slit of the door?
Not yet. It's just enough to see light.
Can I get
Could
my
Matthew
crowbar in
help
there?
me?
Yes, there is enough room for a crowbar, you think.
I would like to
Yeah, have
assist
one.
that with my own crowbar.
Then,
All right, the two of you give me a strength check with advantage, just using the crowbar, not brute force.
Me and,
Let me make sure I have. Yep, I have a crowbar.
Balazar and Titus.
All right, yeah, you can do that as well with advantage.
All right.
Just one of you, though.
Oh.
17, it moves a little bit further.
Got a crowbar. Okay. I was going to let the strongest player do it. The strength check.
Hey, we all have crowbars. We can all contribute.
Yeah. So,
Two of you at a time can use a crowbar, and both can roll with advantage then.
So who's two are rolling then? Because I know me and
Well, I rolled mine with advantage because I thought with a crowbar that gave us advantage.
It does. But, I mean, you can also give it to the people who have more strength.
So me and Balazar will do it with advantage.
All right.
Combined, you're able to move it enough that you can actually see into the room. There's boxes and tools up against the wall from the slight angle. You can see no people, though.
Do we do it again?
All
Can I
right.
send my familiar in?
Not yet.
All right. Stand back,
It's only
everyone.
an inch and a half.
Well, if I can see inside,
It
then
is
I
just-
can
that's
disappear him into the pocket dimension and make him appear within sight.
You are very correct. I will let you do that right now, and hopefully you should be able to see through his eyes. Confirm.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. I will immediately disappear him to the pocket dimension and then tell everybody he's in there. Let's keep hammering.
Okay.
All right. Everyone stand back. I use my lightning weapon, my lightning breath on the door.
Okay.
And it's not letting me do it without targeting something, I think.
I think you have to at least target yourself. Or have yourself selected. Dave figured that out.
Yes, Dave remembered the very basic mechanics of Foundry.
All right. Oh, you had it. Just give me a roll for the damage.
That wasn't it. That was something else.
Yeah. That was lightning lure.
You move something 10 feet. I wonder if that would work.
It pulls it towards you. So not really.
Ignore that. Y'all didn't see that.
Close it.
You didn't see it. End of story. But why is this? Yeah, it's not. I target myself targeted.
I mean, target anybody else. I just want to see the damage roll.
Yeah, I can't. I got Jensen targeted right now.
Well, I guess I can lend a hand and try and push against
Hold up.
the door
Let
as
me
well.
try something else. There we go. Got it. Roll damage.
Yep. That did a good amount of damage, but that door is sturdier than it looks.
Describe the hinges.
You can just barely see the metal edges of them towards the right-hand side. They are almost the entire length of the door.
What metal?
Best guess is iron without further investigation.
Aloysius reaches out, touches it, and begins transforming it into wood.
Okay. How much can you do? How fast?
For each 10 minutes I spend, I can transform up to 1 cubic foot of material.
Just for the fun of it, I'm going to say that there's probably half that, so 5 minutes to do every piece of hinge.
All right, I'll do that and then use the crowbar to just smash
Ma'am,
the hinges.
do you know if there's like this is a tower, right? There's no like doors or going elsewhere out of this room?
There are no windows or well, there is the access point in the roof that allows you to clean the shingles and put up weather experiments, but we rarely use that.
Oh,
But
sure.
it is a way to get out, though, correct?
Well, yes, but it's rarely used.
All right. I then start. Does anyone have a? I then start trying to use my swords on the door to try to damage it more.
As they turn to wood, Balasar's sword is very easily able to crack through the pieces of the hinge. The door is starting to sag.
Can I just keep hammering
And after another few minutes, the door is completely separated from the hinges. However, it doesn't go very far. You feel there's a large amount of material on the other side of the door.
Ooh, a mace. Can I use your mace?
Well,
Jensen?
we can pull the door kind of down past us and at least get that out of the way.
With some difficulty because of the framing on the side to get it to fit through, you are actually able to turn the door sideways, bring it into the stairway. You are now presented with a very large wall of boxes of crap.
I start
Wow.
trying to push strength check or push everything through to try to force my way in.
It's considerably easier now that you can push one thing at a time. With about 30 seconds of effort, you're able to slowly shove most of the boxes across themselves and down into a pile, until only the 2 low ones at the bottom remain. You should be able to jump into the room and come over those right now.
Huh.
Oof.
The moment you enter the room, in the center of the room, you see the same creature you've seen before, the Nimblewright. He crouches down very low to the ground as you enter.
Quick question. How long did it take us to get that door down?
Let's say 10 minutes.
Okay. Guys, he hasn't moved in 10
He
minutes.
looks around at you, and she begins to look at, and then Valette looks at him. Nim, are you right? What are you doing? It begins to give a rapid series of hand signals, trying to communicate with her. She keeps trying to placate it by waving her hands down. Just a minute, it's all right. Suddenly, like a coiled spring and a very loud sprong, it shoots straight up as it stands erect, popping through the hole that's still in the ceiling. You hear its scrabbling feet as it seems to run away across the roof.
Can I?
Nim, come back, she runs as she shouts and looks up at the trap door that's still open.
Can I attempt to do something as he's going up, or is it too late?
He did that while you were still about 10 feet away.
Okay. Can I athletics check to see if I can get up there to where he was?
Yes, it's about 25 feet straight up.
Rope with a.
The ceiling is kind of like conical. This is a turret, so you would have to somehow manage to climb along the inside of the wall and then the inverted surface of the cone of the inside.
If I
Well, we
tie,
can
It's going to
stack
be pretty hard.
if
the
I tie my
boxes that he
rope to
had
the,
stacked against the door.
Yep.
We can stack up in the middle.
if
True.
I tie my,
You need
if I,
25 feet worth. Oh, sorry, Matthew.
if
Go
I
ahead.
tie rope to my crossbow and shoot an arrow up top to try to embed it in the ceiling, would that work enough for me to try to climb?
Yes, that probably would if you give me athletics check after that. Aloysius, you noticed something interesting. Just off of your left shoulder on the wall, you heard a irritating, whining, peeping, sweeping, mechanical, whistly noise, but it diminished in sound rather quickly as the Nimblewright left.
All right. How do I check that out?
Give me an investigation, see if you can find anything in the wall.
I rolled a nat 20 on that athletics check.
You are easily able to scale up that rope and shimmy through the hole in the ceiling and have a nice look around.
Do I see a nymph anywhere?
You see nothing. You see a rather entertaining collection of weather vanes. There must be at least 30 on the roof of this building. Several have been struck by lightning. You're wondering if it's part of a test or just some sort of art piece. Aloysius on a 9 is actually able to discover a odd device that I'm now going to throw a picture up in Discord chat that is just barely starting to stop whirring now. It was clicking and making noises earlier, but it has now ceased all motion. Valette is holding onto the rope at the bottom as she watched Balasar climb up, and she keeps calling out for Nim to come back.
So
Had this,
would I roll investigation again to try to identify the item?
Sure.
Can I argue that because I have proficiency in Tinker's tools, I can have advantage?
I mean, you can use your proficiency, but I wouldn't say advantage at this point.
All right.
This is pretty advanced stuff. This has to be probably the most complicated mechanical gizmo you think you'd ever seen, second only to the mechanical person that you've already just seen.
and would he think that it had been going since we walked in, and he just noticed it shortly after that guy jumped out, or did it start for a second and then stop after the guy jumped out?
It was very faint, but you're pretty sure that you heard it the moment you came in.
He quickly holds it out to Titus and says, "Could you check it for magic real quick?"
Yes.
Titus spends some time with Detect Magic. This one's odd. Looking over it in his hands, certain small pieces of it do glow with magic. Many pieces don't. It seems to be some sort of amalgam between the magical and the mechanical.
Alois just yells up to Balazar, "Do you see him?"
No, he's gone again.
And what school of magic did I sense?
Not that you can detect.
Gotcha.
Did I?
This one doesn't make any sense. Valette does take a step towards the two of you and points out, and she says, "Oh, good. You found it. I worried he would have destroyed it after making it. That is a Nimblewright detector."
A Nimblewright detector?
Yes. I built this with Nim.
Oh, are those the creatures that
Sorry, what was that?
Are those the creatures that come crawling out of the sewers?
Nimble? No.
So-
Nimblewrights are mechanical constructs. You see them in the parades all the time. Nim is the most complicated form of that I've ever seen. He, for lack of a better word, possesses will, intent, and is able to do things on his own. Why he helped me make this, I'm not quite sure. Maybe he was worried about being lonely. But basically, this allows us to find errant Nimblewrights in the city. Basically, you hold down the trigger there. She points at it. And then as you're holding it down, if the device comes within 500 feet of a Nimblewright other than Nim, although we can change that now, the device and the umbrella will begin to spin, whir, and click. The spinning, whirring, and clicking will accelerate as the distance to the target lessens, reaching the maximum velocity and volume when the Nimblewright is within 30 feet.
Alois just says, "Wait a minute. What do you mean errant Nimblewrights?"
Well, this wizard apparently has been working very hard on these, and they've been a bit of a problem. And we've taken upon ourselves to find them and sometimes disassemble them and bring them here. Their parts have been very helpful in our studies, but they are very, very simple creatures, usually doing whatever the last thing what they were commanded to do over and over again, but they have no sense of purpose. They can't act without orders, except
And you
for
said
this one.
And you said this device could be changed to find Nim as well?
Yes, it's a simple modification, and she points to the base. She says, "Just remove that large crystal at the bottom. It's a filter crystal." And then, wait a minute, it seems to be slightly askew. That's odd. Wonder who did that. And she says, "If you remove it fully, it will fully detect Nim."
Alois just removes it.
It begins to click and whir ever so softly again. It seems to be continuing to do it. And then it's getting softer and softer as time goes on.
He's getting away.
So
All right.
as
Before,
soon as
before we chase him down, Alois just wants to say, now remind me, who is this wizard again, and where might we find him?
Real quick before you answer that, right as soon as I got up here, I would have tried to done a perception check to try to see if I could find out which direction he went, and just to really get a feel of my surroundings.
He was out of your line of sight before you could get up there. He seems quite good at going fast. From the damage to the roof, although it's difficult to tell if that's from previous excursions, you're relatively certain he went off to the west. You do get a good lay of the land, and you can see even partially your mansion and tavern off to the west as well. The wizard was a visiting Latinese wizard, and he's been creating these inventions on the sly, she says, because his school does not permit such things, and so he's been leaving them here. He also makes many other things, such as mechanical sparrows, that are very good for short-ranged attack and the passing of messages.
Yeah, I think we saw one of those outside.
I don't know how that's possible. We've had none here, and nobody's been able to replicate his process. I hope Nim isn't doing that.
All right, well, let's...
Everybody give me a perception check if you'd be so kind. Wow, 2, that's rough.
That's rough, buddy.
Titus looks around, and he wonders aloud if all of these parts have been used to create anything else. Because there's a large amount of work and fresh tools and fresh parts and bits everywhere, as if things have been created in this room. Donovan notices this as well.
Could I roll something with my Tinker's knowledge to try to determine what may have been built?
Yes.
What roll?
Perception, whatever you have for a good bonus related to that, but it's perception or investigation. Yeah, it looks like more of these birds, mechanical sparrows, have been produced. For what purpose, it's hard to say, but from the lens work and other optics, you say they would make excellent spy devices.
How many of them do we see?
None now, just the parts available and tools that were in the middle of making them. There's no way to determine because you don't know how many parts were once up here.
And we saw Nim on the roof on the way in, or is that something else?
You saw Nim on the way on the roof on the way in, and he threw a bird at you. Colette looks around and said, if you'd be willing to take on the job, I have a task for you. Please find Nim and bring him back here. You needn't completely destroy him. Simply disconnecting his head from his body would be sufficient to shut him down, and then we can study him further. If you bring him back relatively undamaged, we would be willing to pay 500 gold.
Aloysius grumbles and says, okay.
I stick my head down and yell out, we'll take the job.
I also, just to help motivate you to not turn him into little pieces, if you bring him back relatively undamaged, I can offer you one of these wonderful inventions we make. We could offer you adjustable stilts, a backpack parachute, a barking box, and a matchless pipe. We would be willing to part with any one of those if you bring him back with the least amount of damage. But of course, if he comes back in just pieces, we'll still pay the 500 gold because we need him off the streets.
That's a good deal.
All right, I like money.
Yep. Do you guys want me to pull you up here?
No.
Well, I mean, we're not going to be able to chase him from the roof. Probably have to go back onto the ground.
Didn't know if we could scout out anything from or find any other clues. All right.
Are there
he holds up the detector and says, "We can find him with this."
All right.
We should probably start going now before the signal gets too weak.
All right. I then grab the rope, tie it to something on the roof that's a lot more secure, and then slide down the rope.
Were there other neighboring roofs up there that you could reach or jump to, or is it all far away?
This was the highest tower in the local area. You can also see a very much smaller tower to your southeast, which is part of this building, but it's about half the height of the one you're in now.
So probably not the best idea to jump.
Yeah. All right. Let's head down.
Hey Andrew, what were the items that we could get if we didn't damage him too bad? Adjustable stilts was the
Adjustable
one.
Stilts that take 1 minute to put on or remove. They increase the height of any humanoid wearer from 2 to 5 feet. Each stilt weighs 8 pounds and is a foot long when fully collapsed. A backpack parachute, that should make sense. A barking box, it's a metal cube, 6 inches on the side, that has a crank on top. Using an action to wind the crank activates the box for 8 hours, and while activate, the box barks whenever it detects vibrations within 15 feet. It can also have a switch on the bottom that will set the bark to either a large dog or a small dog. The last is a matchless pipe. A switch made of flint is built into the bowl of this fine wooden smoking pipe, and with a few flicks of the switch, the pipe lights itself.
The vape.
And as Balazar and Jensen walk around, you are amazed at the cacophony of peculiar items down here.
What is the name of the gal who was leading us?
Valette,
Maret?
Norette or Noette?
with a V.
Ah.
Valette.
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 Got it.
You should be able to see it now if you hover
Yep.
over.
Yep. Can do. Alright. Let's see where this little gizmo leads us to.
Well, at the moment, sadly, it seems to be making no sound.
Alright.
Well, he was heading west, so let's charge in that direction and hope we can get a ping.
All right. Well, due west of here is Skull Alley, that you know well, where your house is located. Do you want to head that way?
Yep.
I think that'd be good.
You rush headlong, and most entertainingly, as people turn and look to watch, as you try and make your way to Trollskull Alley, listening to the machine to click, but sadly it does not. You end up passing by your house, which you should all be outside for, sorry about that.
Which way did...
But you don't seem to be picking up enough distance on him to get it to reacquire him. It is only 500 feet.
What is the name of the type of creature that Nim is?
A nimble right is what she described him as.
Nimble, right.
Alright. I think I may have missed something about the little gizmo we have and who it tracks, then, if that's the case. Because I thought that was the name
Okay.
of what they are, not their name.
His name is Nim. That's what she called him. He
Okay.
seemed to be unable to speak. He can communicate through some sort of signing system. His creature type is Nimblewright, and the thing you have is a Nimblewright detector.
So, what are nimble rights then? Do we already know that, or did she
They
tell
are
us?
a mechanical, magical construct, very similar to a golem, but you've never encountered anything quite this advanced before.
Okay.
Such contrivances are not unknown in Waterdeep, but they are usually considerably simpler, as Valette was explaining to you. They do what they are told until they either run out of energy or the job is done, and then they sit there and do nothing. This thing has will. It has the desire to do things on its own.
Well, let's just keep heading west and see if something shows up.
Alright. Onward! Let's go, team.
What were the 4 items again? A stilts.
I wrote them in the.
Adjustable stilts, backpack parachute, barking box, and matchless pipe. I should just.
I wrote it in the next goals part. I said bring Nim back for 500 gold, and if he isn't too damaged.
Okay.
It's at like the very top. Oh yeah.
Great. Nice.
Perfect.
I didn't do all that. Andrew did that last part.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I wrote that in a new page that I created for the House of Inspired Hands.
Hmm.
Are you just going to wander around the city and look at just random running around?
Yeah, I guess keep going west.
Yeah. Go west, maybe send my familiar up in the air so I can occasionally peek into an aerial view.
Well, this city is magnificently huge, and so far you haven't had any signal just yet.
Who in town do we know that knows more about these nibblerape creatures?
Just from your passive knowledge, you're pretty darn sure that the Valette and the Hand of Making Things is really the most knowledgeable people on such things. But you also are now developing faction alliances, and maybe.
Do y'all want to go through all of our faction contacts to see if
Yeah, like
uh,
anyone knows how they think or where they might run off to.
Yep.
I'm looking for the name of the alley on the map.
Troll Skull is where our house is. We're probably
Yes.
covering that up with our icons.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying to find it.
There's a
There's a
Troll Crook alley.
Yeah.
I know you're incredibly close to being on top of it, wherever the heck it is.
Just would everyone mind moving their icons off of the map? Hmm. I don't see it.
Yeah, neither do I, and I do apologize. This is the official map that comes at the beginning of the book. So
Oh. Maybe it's Troll Crook Alley.
I mean, I can point out things I do know where they are, because this is where the yawning portal is.
Okay.
This is the Candle Lane where you had that encounter in the alley, and no, this one's Candle Lane. Pardon me.
Ah, that's right there, Candle Lane. That's where the little
Yep.
purple guy is.
Yeah, and that's where the Skewered Dragon was. The other bar. And this is, by Candle Lane, right.
It'd be nice if we could draw on this map.
Yeah, I don't know why you can't. That kind of annoys me. You can't see, I mean, yeah.
But that's all right. Well, let's go looking. Let's go looking for this for Nim. Nim the Nimble, right? Shall we strike off heading west?
Yeah, let's go as far west as we can.
All right. You continue to move west, but you're not getting any signal just yet.
I feel like he wouldn't have come all the way to the edge of town. bothered to blow something up in the yard or in Troll Skull Alley, there's got to be a reason he was there. Something he was trying to take or snatch. Or someone.
Passively, you're starting to feel that this is going to be a very hard thing, because if he keeps moving and doesn't have to sleep, you have to either get ahead of him or in range, but you don't know where he's going, and you're worried that this may be a more futile search than might be worth it.
What if we talk to, what's his name, that gave us the deed? If he was so willing to get rid of this property so much, maybe he knew someone was gonna try to attack near it.
Volo. Yeah. Perhaps we could go find this wizard who created him?
I don't know if anybody knows where he is, but we could start asking around.
Do we want to split up and ask our factions? See if they have heard of this wizard?
Sounds like a decent idea.
Sure.
Okay. Who to first?
I'll go talk to Lord's Alliance. I'm not sure, I forget who my contact is.
Jester Silvermane. He is at the Yawning Portal.
Right. I'll go find Jester. And ask him if he's heard of a wizard who created nimble rights.
Okay.
We don't have any leads for the wounded man that hobbled to the east, do we?
Not yet, no.
I forgot about him.
I think we. Yeah, I think he was heading in the direction of the Bent Nail Bar. But I think
I thought the Bent Nail was the name of the woodsmith guy.
Yeah, that's the woodsmith.
Yeah, he passed them up.
Talking about the Purple Dragon or that other bar?
I think the bar you're thinking of is... Yeah, it's by the purple place. It's the one with the ship anchor on it. Darn it, I've got too many tabs open.
And while I'm here, you can go talk to Volo about the deed.
Hey there, Jalester.
Greetings. How go your work in keeping the city safe?
Where's my token at?
Oh, you all came to the bar? Sorry.
No, I didn't know if we did or not. It's fine if I'm not. My token's not here. I figured. Me and Al
you probably
gone to the Gray Hands, or did we want to stay together or split up?
Also, Raynar Nevermember gives a big bow to you as well. You notice him at the table with Floon and Volo taking a big drink. He thanks you again for your saving of his life. Signals to Bonnie to bring over a few pitchers and some flagons, and starts passing them out.
Of course. Glad to be an assistance of keeping the city and its citizens safe.
Please, anything I can do to assist you, anything, I would be glad to do.
Oh well, I'm glad you should say that. I've actually been looking So we there was a Nimblewright that caused a bit of a disturbance and created made like an 5-year explosion and hurt some people real bad. And we're trying to track him down. And we found him in the House of Inspired Hands. He had like a room at the top there where he was like working. Um, but the gal like didn't know that um I'm not sure if it's like the same nimble rate or a different one. But the gal didn't know about like this explosion, this disturbance, and so she was happy to assist. But Nim, the Nimblewright who was living there, jumped up through the ceiling and escaped. And um, the lady was telling us that these Nimblewrights had been created by a wizard. Um, so I was just wondering. Oh, we're trying to track this guy down, figure out where he might be. So I was wondering if you perhaps would have any knowledge of this wizard that creates Nimblewrights.
Sometimes I think we delve far too deep into the realm of magic and try and mix it with science. My father has spoken of such creations and some wizards who dabble in such things. However, it is forbidden within at least the walls of Waterdeep. I don't know where it would go or what its purpose might be, though. But what is this explosion you speak of?
It was in Troll Skull Alley, actually. Um, in a courtyard behind a couple of buildings. Um,
It was
we
the
heard,
cobbler, right?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah, we heard a loud bang, and we rushed over and saw there was fire everywhere, and he was running off over the rooftops.
And you say the Nimblewright did this?
Well, we spoke. We found a couple of witnesses. There was one gal who per, uh, personally firsthand saw it. Um, she said that the mechanical man threw a fireball into the courtyard, then ran off. Um, and yeah,
Who
so
gave you
we
this information?
Oh golly, I can't remember her. I'm not sure if we
A
we got
number
her.
of reliable witnesses.
Just to help out, her name was Phala, and she runs the apothecary. At this, he becomes rather concerned. Did any of the bodies have the Z tattoo on their arm? And he describes it to you, and you've seen this before, especially at the warehouse where you rescued him.
I don't think we saw that.
How closely did you examine the bodies?
Not that closely, unfortunately. As soon as we
No.
found out about them, we ended up trying
Yeah,
to
we
chase
tried
after,
chasing.
and by the time we got back, the watch had already secured the area.
Did any of them have black cloaks?
Do we remember that? We would remember that, yeah.
Didn't the one that was running away? Didn't they say he was wearing
Yeah,
a
there was
black
an
cloak?
injured
yeah.
man
There was-
fleeing
yeah.
the scene that had a
Yes.
cloak.
Quickly, what race was he?
It was
Goblin.
hard.
I don't know.
It was hard to tell because
It's hard to tell. No
he
one
was like
saw, gotta go
covered
look
in
at
a
them.
cloak.
Wasn't he a halfling?
Phala told you that she thought it was a gnome.
Oh, I thought he took something from the body of a gnome.
That too. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Wait a minute. I'm messing this up. Okay, and yeah, from the body of a gnome. A gnome and others were killed. Yeah, dead gnome. Sorry, I got it backwards. He was asking about the body.
Oh, okay.
But we didn't get the race of the cloaked guy.
No.
Okay.
We think you
He
might
says,
be.
just a moment. He pulls out a piece of paper from his pocket, begins to write on it quickly, holds it close to him, whispers to it. It folds itself into a bird and flies quickly out the door. Come back to me in 24 hours. I may have more. But first, I must tell you, when the lords of Waterdeep ousted my father, I thought this long dark shadow was finally gone for good. The truth is, I want nothing to do with him. But his spies hound me. And one of them, a gnome named Dakar, has been watching me for months. Then, about 10 days ago, the spy was suddenly nowhere to be seen. My father didn't trust many people, but he trusted that gnome.
It's funny you should mention that because we did actually see the body of a gnome in the explosion. It was one of the dead people.
If you get the opportunity, speak with the body. See if you can find out if it's Dakar. Find out what he was doing.
Oh, that'll be difficult because the a cleric from the City Watch cast gentle repose on them and took them to the morgue. So speaking with the dead, I'm not sure if that will be possible, but we'll
Doesn't
keep.
gentle repose help you with speak with the dead?
It prevents them from being raised.
But it also keeps them fresh as a daisy so that you can speak
Decay.
with them in some time later.
It does. You're right. It does also extend the time limit on raising the target.
So we could ask them 5 questions.
So can we raise the dead? No one here. That's pretty
You're right.
powerful.
We're level 3. We're not
But
raising.
speak with the dead. I don't know when speak the dead. Speak with dead.
I also had the opportunity to speak with several of Dakar's friends. Apparently, he was on a special mission to retrieve the Stone of Glor and was afraid that the Ziram or Xanthir Guild were close to catching him. When he heard about my kidnapping, he wanted more information about the adventurers who rescued me. I think Dakar was planning to pay you a visit and deliver the Stone of Glor to my father in Neverwinter.
I'm sorry, I spaced out. What about Neverwinter?
Oh, 1 second, you caught me typing.
All good. Looking at my character level.
I threw that in the journal just so you could reread that if you needed to. But he was saying, I spoke to a few of Dakar's friends. Apparently, he was on a special mission to retrieve the Stone of Galore. I was afraid that Ziram and Xanthir guilds were close to catching him. When he heard about my kidnapping, he wanted more information about the adventurers who had rescued me. I think Dakar was planning to pay you to deliver the Stone of Gore to my father in Neverwinter.
Who's your father and what's the stone do?
He sighs visibly at that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The Stone of Galore is linking to a D&D on page on the item.
Yeah, I got it pulled up now.
I wouldn't read too much about it.
Okay.
Same. All right.
Getting away.
He sighs visibly at that. My father used to be the king of Waterdeep. He was the lord of Waterdeep. And he has since been outed, and he has retreated to Neverwinter. The Stone of Gore, and he hears several people pick up their heads from around the table listening in, and he sighs and rolls his eyes, is what all manner of beast, man, and wizard seek in this town. It is, for lack of a better word, a creature transformed into a stone, a very, very intelligent creature with much knowledge and power. My father had a substantial hoard of dragons, gold, stored in this city. Everybody has been searching for it for years. He used this to fund many a civic project, little barbery, several wars, and used it to protect the city. Now that he's gone, everybody wants access to his hoard. It is supposedly huge. Not wanting it to be plundered, he had the brilliant, depending on how you argue about it, idea to take his knowledge of where it was stored and how to access it and place that knowledge within the living mind inside the stone. Anyone who could find the stone and commune with it would have access to this knowledge. That way, no matter what was done to him, he knew the knowledge of his treasure would be safe.
Oh. Oh, that's bad news.
What?
Because, well, if this gnome Dalakar was going to retrieve the stone, and then he was killed in the explosion, and we saw somebody take something from his body, I think that hooded figure must have the stone now.
That would be very bad.
Assuming Dalakar had the stone on him when he was killed.
Then you have a choice to make. You can either enjoy the wonderful adventuring life that Waterdeep offers, drink deeply of the yawning portal, get your new tavern up and running that I hear you're working on. I will most assuredly be a patron when the time is right and it's open. In fact, I will purchase the entire first round for anyone who shows up on your opening night, just to thank you again for saving me. Or you could try and go after the dragon horde that's somewhere in this city.
Well, I'm afraid that
I think we know what we need to do.
Yeah, whoever's taking that will misuse it. They don't exactly seem like the scrupulous.
Once it's known that that stone is in the wind, everyone will be looking for it. Some more than others, and some will be willing to do anything for it. I hope you have good friends who are going to be loyal to you, and I hope you have some good organizations who will be willing to protect you if ever needed.
Indeed.
All
right. Well, thank you.
Return to me in 24 hours, and hopefully the Harper's Guild will be able to tell me more.
All right.
Thank you, Rainer.
Thank you.
Floon and Volo bow at that, and Volo is taking furious notes in his book, probably for the next installment of information of the amazingness of Waterdeep.
All right. Looks like we got us a quest upon us.
Indeed.
Right. What time of day is it right now?
Well, you spent a lot of time wandering around the city. Would you argue it was lunchtime or dinner time?
I think dinner time. What do y'all think?
Okay.
Especially
So
because we went to the Inspired Hands after guarding the people, and then getting wrapped up in the explosion. That was earlier today.
What time was the explosion?
Right at dawn. Knocked you right out of the bed.
Yeah, so if at dawn, let's say we took about 2 hours fondling around, and then after that, that's when 2.5 hours later, we go to the place.
Yep. Probably mid-afternoon.
Yeah. So I'm
Maybe
guessing
dinner time.
Right before, an hour or so before dinner time,
yeah,
4:30-ish.
Do you want to hang out here for 24 hours, or do you want to do anything in the meantime, or any shopping, or any other guild representatives to talk to?
I would at least like to go back to our tavern just to see if there are still guards there or if they've gotten everything cleaned up or not, and to see if they left anything behind.
I can second that.
And we can think about, I mean, can we find out where the morgue is?
Yeah.
You certainly could. I mean, it's in right next to the city hall. Most people know where it is because most
I
people.
imagine. I imagine I would be very familiar with where the morgue is.
Okay.
Will they let you in?
We can persuade them to let them in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I work with those close to death, and I probably bring them there from time to time, accompany them and stuff. Yeah, I can be a little persuasive as well, so I'm sure they would let me in.
All right. Stop by the tavern, and then we can head to the morgue.
Do you wish to
Well,
go?
he may have to rest before he is allowed to use Speak with Dead. Also, I don't remember what level that is.
It's 3rd level. I don't have it.
Oh, then we're not there yet.
Yeah, I won't have it at 4th level either.
Yeah, neither one of the shops carry anything for it too. At least I could find.
Very nice. Checking out Rashal's scrolls. All right. Do you want to? When you said back to Troll Skull, do you want me to take you to the manor or the explosion site?
The manor's fine.
Yeah, the manor, though we can go inside if needed, but then we can also see if there are any guards around.
Yeah, because we don't even have confirmation that the gnome that died was the one looking for us. So
I'll be back in a second.
So I was actually gonna look around here.
What is the name of this stone again?
Stone of Gollorr.
Stone of
In the
Galar.
Yeah.
Alois just looks around and says, well, this is as good a place as any to start looking. I search for one Stone of Galar. Is there one within 1,000 feet of me?
I got to read the description of this better. Wait a minute. While you know the name of the object, it is not familiar to you.
Well, that's a specific use case. Let me reread this. There's like 2 modes that it could be in.
Oh, okay.
You can name an well, you sense the direction of the object's location as long as that just within 1,000 feet of you of the object's location. You can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have.
I'm back.
All right. Something about that description doesn't look right.
What's up?
Ooh.
It's the known to you part. Like, I mean, you've basically just been told its name, but I don't know. Known to you seems a bit more, unless you disagree.
Because it's saying describe or name an object that is familiar to you, and then the spell can locate an object known to you.
As long as you've seen it up close, within 30 feet at least once.
You know,
So, you're
Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon. That's the mode. So
yeah, so I think those are the two modes. So you
yeah,
could find all the rocks.
I can think of tell me where the nearest gold coin is, or if I concentrate on one, I can say, tell me where this one in particular that I've spent time focusing on.
Yeah, I don't think you can do this with that. Does that sound fair?
All right.
I mean, you've never seen it. Nobody who's even you don't even have an example of someone who could describe what it looks like.
I know what it is called, but I realistically don't know what it is.
Right. It's a stone. It probably fits in your hand. It could be any color, shape. You have no idea. Unfortunately, unfortunately, he's never seen it either, so he can't even tell you what it looks like. He just knows it's semi-conscious and it's a living creature that's
Can we
been
go look
transformed
in
to a stone. What
Can we
was
go
that?
look in the bookshop
Of course.
to see if there's any books about the stone?
Certainly.
Yeah, let's see if there's
Actually,
any
not
pictures.
bad.
And if they
Yeah.
don't have any, we can visit the purple guy, see if he knows anything. Maybe the stone is purple and he'll know everything about it.
The bookshelf is right next. There we go.
Where
Aloysius is right
I'm
there at the
going
bookshelf. Rashal nods kindly to you, says, "Welcome again, please. Scrolls are available. Books, of course, as well."
Do you have any books on the Stone of Galar?
Oh, I have histories and many treatises on would-be adventurers trying to locate it. Everybody's always looked for Lord Neverremember's treasure. But I'll tell you fairly, since you've dealt so well with me, none of them are very much help. All they are is speculation. I don't know that anyone has ever had a first-hand encounter with that stone. Lord Neverrember was very smart in keeping it away from everyone.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Of course, kind sir and a scholar.
To the purple guy?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a moment. We got to switch to the dock ward. Funny enough, we're still right outside the purple guy's place.
Could be.
Nighttime or daytime?
Titus, you got the oddest sense as you walked by that wait a minute here, I should do it this way. Okay, so you guys walk into the shop, and Zablob is sitting there in the lotus position on the very corner of his sales table and greets you all with a bow and continues smoking, making strange purple smoke all over the place that's a bit intoxicating, and says, "Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please, please look around. Much wonderful things are here for your amusement and dazzling of senses. Please, what can I offer you?"
Do you have anything on the Stone of Galore?
Stone of Galore? What a silly name for a thing. What color is it, pray tell?
Well,
That's the kind of thing we're trying to find out.
Well, I've heard of no such thing at all. In fact, I hesitate to guess that such thing is probably just a myth or some such story, but I've never heard of something like that.
Cool.
All right.
Please look about. See if there's anything you can find that you want. And look for real things, not fabled mythical things that absolutely do not exist and are not worth looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Is he like pulling the rug over our eyes? Like, is he
I
telling the
don't
truth?
know. Roll an insight check, Mr. Wisdom person.
When he said things that that's hmm. Hmm. Things that definitely don't exist, eh? What makes you so sure that this thing does not exist? Particularly if you haven't even heard of it.
Oh, what a silly name for an item. And what would be even the purpose of such a silly thing?
Alright, guys, he's definitely hiding something. Right.
How do we make him talk?
I don't know, beats me.
I could.
As you watch, he takes a big, long draw on his pipe, his chest and cheeks puffing out, until it slowly starts to seep out between his three teeth, nose, and even ears. His grin broadens and his eyes roll up in his head.
Well, this stone that definitely doesn't exist, as you say. um, we happen to be looking for it, and well, if you have any leads that could help us
He begins
search,
to sway side to side and begins crooning to himself, humming and singing together.
it would be in your interest.
So the stone that doesn't exist, where wouldn't we find it?
He begins to look about as if he's watching butterflies flapping about. He reaches out to touch something.
You are indeed refreshing, Titus. Something corporeal?
Doesn't seem to be. Rather reminiscent of what poor Aloysius went through a while ago.
I am going to try an intimidation check.
I'll help you with that.
Okay, can you help with that?
Listen here, Buster. If you know something, you better spit out.
Is that something?
I'll allow that. If the two of you both have proficiency, you can do it.
Okay.
I don't have proficiency, but I
Then you
plus.
can't help them.
Okay.
I mean, you can attempt. Anyone can attempt to do anything on their own.
Oh! Fudge me.
At that, he takes another huge long drag and blows it out in your face. Give me a Constitution check.
Constitution. Saving throw or ability check?
Saving throw.
Saving throw.
You cough, but you remain on your feet. No effects. Titus is not able to intimidate him at all. Jensen, he seems to come out of his funk of smoking tasticness for just a brief moment, but then goes right back to it. He doesn't seem phased by your hostility.
Screw this guy. I think we're wasting our time here.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
might. Alright, real quick before we leave, though, I'm going to try a persuasion check. Nah. Okay.
What were you persuading him to do?
Could I attempt a
Just-
persuasion check with advantage because I brought him the purple book?
That's not
Yeah,
enough for advantage.
All right.
I was trying to.
I'll just try to smooth talk him for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Okay. He concentrates on your eyes for a brief moment, looking left and right a lot. And he says, "You three are very kind. Please, buy something in the store." And he points to all three of you, or at least the other two of you side by side that you think might be there, and you wonder what actually is in that tobacco.
All right. What is in the store? What is on the shelves? Give me a list.
I did, and you rolled, and I'll have to go back to it because I didn't keep track of all of those, but just a minute.
Yeah, I know we had to roll a D100.
Yep. So, just a second.
If we keep rolling, his shells will keep populating, right?
Pretty much. I don't remember where the heck that was.
So the number of items he's selling is proportional to how many times we roll the dice.
I mean, I'm sure there'd be a limit.
Probably 100.
Yeah. Or perhaps 50. Even the wild magic table doesn't actually have 100 entries on it.
Yeah. Usually a D100 lists everything in like groups of 10.
I can't find this guy's place. I feel like an idiot. I'm sorry here.
Do I need to go check out the book from the library again?
Okay. Balasar finds a metal can that has no opening, but sounds as if it is filled with liquid, sand, spiders. What? It keeps changing in your. This is very peculiar, and it's stained purple on the outside around the rim. 45. A tiny purple chest carved to look like it has numerous feet on the bottom. You found that one last time too.
I do remember the chest.
A small purple cloth doll skewered with needles.
How much for the doll?
He pushes a wooden bowl towards you. He doesn't seem to be at speaking at the moment.
How much for the what?
He said for the doll, but Zablob didn't say anything. He just pushed a wooden bowl towards Aloysius.
I will put a platinum coin in it.
He pulls the bowl towards him until it's underneath part of his robes, and then nothing else happens.
All right.
I look to the other two people he kind of gestured to and say, "Let's buy something."
Oh, he was gesturing basically to your left and right because he was seeing double.
Oh, okay.
He said the three of you when he was talking to you. I guess I didn't make that clear enough.
Yeah, I thought he was talking
He's,
to me, Al, and Jensen.
No, he's seeing triple because he's pretty smoked up at
stoned.
the moment.
I want to stand here and identify the doll.
You mean magically?
Yeah.
It is
Virtually?
not magical. It is of high quality. It's small. It's made out of the cloth. The needles that are in it are 17 of them. They're made out of steel. They're all of good quality and sharp. And the outer cloth of the doll is purple.
All right. I think this guy's a lost cause.
Yeah.
Alois just looks at him and says, I will treasure this forever.
All right, leaving on a good note.
I feel this when I step outside.
Correct.
That thing looks creepy.
Did you say that to your group, Aloysius?
No, to the... Oh.
Yes, I say it to the group.
Okay.
Is this behind a glass enclosure?
Yes. Think of it like a big glass store shop window display thing.
That's creepy. Does anyone else get the feeling that they're being watched?
Alois just looks at Titus and says, Can you do that detect magic thing real quick?
I don't have any more.
All right, I'll stand here for 10 minutes and ritual cast it.
I have to find something.
Has there been enough time that has passed since my first investigation of it to do another one?
It's very difficult to identify. There is magic on the glass bead that makes up the darker part of the center of the beholder's eye. What was your question there, Hunter?
I asked if there was enough time passed between my first investigation check of it as soon as we got here from now to make another one.
What are you investigating this time?
I guess instead of trying to investigate the center of the mass, more so the connectings of it, like the things holding it up, the little eyes.
They look like hemp rope tied to the walls to hold it up. It's made out of purple cloth sewn and stitched together. Some of the eye stalks look like they're painted on the end of the cloth. This incredibly just looks like some artistic creation by someone with needle and thread and paint and dye and one glass bead at the center of the eye adding to the darker part to make it a little shiny.
But the glass bead is magic.
Seems to be.
All right. I am going to pocket dimension my familiar, make it appear inside, and identify as touch.
The moment your familiar pops into being, hovering in that room, several glowing runes appear on the floor and begin to pulse slowly. They get brighter as you move around.
Have we asked the guy in the shop anything about this out here?
No.
The longer your owl hovers in the air or wherever it is, the brighter the runes on the ground seem to glow. Three of them next to the glass begin to start pulsing.
Okay, I can recognize a security system. I poof it back to the pocket dimension.
Okay. Jensen, were you attempting to locate undead?
Yeah.
Nothing within 60 feet.
Okay.
All right. Do we want to go back to the outside?
Do I see any way to get into that enclosure?
From outside, no. From inside, not that you noticed.
Well, obviously there must be.
The
Did the
door
owl
opens
notice
to the
anything
right of
inside of the
Jensen,
enclosure?
and out steps for a brief moment is the blob. He looks around, looks at all of you standing there, gives you 2 fingers, blows a raspberry, and trundles back into his house or shop.
Did his owl notice anything in there while the owl was in there and he was looking through its eyes?
Nothing particularly interesting. I mean, he wasn't in there very long before Aloysius became concerned for his owl's safety and took him out.
I rolled an investigation.
What are you investigating?
I'm looking for how people get in and out of here.
Okay. On the side right over here, after a bit of time looking, you can see that it is some sort of hinged door. You're down in the bar, I think. Let's move you.
I guess, do you want to go investigate it? Or are we just gonna stand around and...
Yeah. I think whatever we're gonna find isn't gonna help us for.
As you walk,
I mean, if someone goes in there, they're going to see the runes are going to set off the alarm.
as Jensen walks in there, he's surprised to see Zablob on top of the bookshelf in the middle of the room in a handstand with his feet up in the air. He's still continuing to smoke.
Okay. Weird man, gonna do weird things.
He hops off there and begins to toddle along the ground a little unsteadily until he's watching you in the back area of his shop.
Hey,
Aloysius waves to him.
He says, "Be careful. It's slipperier in there."
well,
Is
it'd be
there anything
cool to,
important back here?
well, it'd be cool to see it from like right in front, right? Instead of like through glass. It's less, it's purer. The purple's more vibrant.
It's just such an amazing piece of artwork. Who made it?
The previous shop owner. That's why I changed my name.
Oh, you changed your name?
How do those two things relate?
Zablob owned this shop before me. He had very good marketing. I wasn't about to ruin a good thing, so now I am Zablob.
Who
Okay.
were you before?
I'm not sure. It had something to do with purple, I think.
Maybe it
I just
was
want,
smoke, and you can remember.
I just want to take a look
With
at
it?
And he continues to wander back to his desk.
Aloysius says, "You don't see anything, just blackness."
What was that for, Jensen?
finding the hidden door from the inside.
It's quite apparent and easy to see. You can see the hinges and the small latch that keeps it closed.
I'm going to unlatch it and open the door.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Hey, wizard, do you have mage hand?
Yeah.
Do you think it might
There
be
you
a
go.
smarter
You
idea
now
for you
found
to
the door.
use that to grab whatever we're wanting to grab in there, than actually going
Well, I mean, I can't pull an object through another solid object. So I would need a hole to pull it out.
Isn't that where the little door that Jensen's at?
I just opened
Well,
it.
yeah, but we can only access that door from inside, and I think he's more perceptive than he looks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he
Ooh.
does he seem like a lot more I guess high than like we've seen him before? Or does it seem like the drug doesn't hardly affect him in terms of staying awake?
Is he putting on air?
He definitely seems to be full of a lot of hot air.
That sounds like a good insight check.
All right, Jensen, what's the specificness of your question there? 'Cause that's a darn good roll.
I suppose maybe it would have been better as like insight or perception, but like, is he like actually high, or is he like pretending to be high?
I'm going to give you this with that roll. You heard him say earlier that he was willing to change his name because the previous owner had really good marketing. Really good marketing is sometimes a good act. So
Mm.
you are very suspicious at this point of how much of what you've seen of his behavior is him and how much of what you've seen of his behavior is an act.
Do we attack him? He can't take all of us.
We don't know
He's
that.
not like a bad guy.
He's just
Jensen, do you
super
have any intentions with that door that's currently open?
I'm just poking my head in, looking around.
You get a little bit closer perspective. You're very much able to see the seam lines where it's been sewn together.
Now, Matthew, you're standing like on the opposite wall. Did you just shout across the shop, "Hey, want to kill him?" Loud enough for all of us to hear?
No, I whispered that to Jensen. Or kind of like thought it in my head, whispered it to him.
Do you have the message?
Kind of jokingly.
Now that
I'm gonna
you've had some
whisper to
time,
Al.
Jensen, you can actually see footprints in the dust where people have gone in to possibly adjust or paint or change the display. Doesn't look like it's cleaned in there very often.
That's pretty cool.
Alright, I'm gonna wait out here.
I'm gonna whisper to Al. Why would a stuffed beholder be better guarded than the shop door?
Elois whispers back, "There's a magical bead in the eye."
Do you know anything of what it could be?
Can't quite get to it.
Might be the most valuable thing here.
Probably.
I wonder if Donovan could help us, since, you know, this is kind of like his whole thing. Being sneaky and stealing stuff.
Yeah, but we don't know that because we don't know anything about him.
Yeah, we don't even know he's a rogue.
At this point, we're probably wondering who the hell is this guy and why is he like sometimes following us.
Sometimes we just hear him talking from the shadows.
Fallout 4, mysterious
Aloysius has
stranger.
thought about just outright killing him a couple of times.
Anyone else planning to do anything with the open door?
I don't.
Negative.
I'm too scared.
Yeah. Do you think we should call it and then go see the guy at the tavern tomorrow?
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time at this shop. A lot more than I thought we would.
Do you want to look through the door and look closer at the beholder, Donovan?
I think he's busy.
No, it's just a tiny little simple latch and a simple little wooden door, you know, so that people can go in on the display and change it or dust or something. Doesn't appear
Is
to be
there any-
locked.
Is there any chance that any of our magic wielders recognized the runes of anything like a particular, or just?
Give me an Arcana roll. You don't recognize any of them as a specific spell. Strangely enough, the symbols actually seem to be phonetic, almost as if they're spelling out words across the floor, and each sequence spells out a spell, maybe? But they're definitely, it's not just like, this is not a glyph of warding with one spell on it, you're pretty sure of that. It seems to be some sort of connected sequence. With what purpose, you don't know. Donovan, were you heading inside to look inside the door? I missed that, sorry.
The door is not open. I'm not going to open it.
Oh, it's open now. Jensen opened it and was peering in at the floor. He saw the footprints in the dust from whoever else went in there last and did a poor job of dusting.
Sure, I'll peer in if somebody else has already peered in. I won't be the first to stick my head in something.
Oh, there you go. You're sticking your head through, and you can see the tiled floor and the cloth replica of a beholder. It's fine. It doesn't smell bad in there. And it is what it is. You can see the thread sewing it all together.
And I guess I will be looking for, I'll be in my feature that says, what? Says you have advantage on perception and investigation checks made to detect the presence of secret doors.
Okay. You give me a roll then if you want to see if there's any more secret doors.
Well, looking in there to do that.
I think this place might be a purple herring.
But you find no other secret doors, although you do find it intriguing the quality of the glass beads someone used to make the pupil in its eye.
Perhaps that's the stone that we're looking for.
Jensen, did you notice anything weird about the writings
No
on
other
the floor?
secret doors.
I mean, I'm not a magician, and that clearly looks like magic to me. So it's outside of my area of expertise. I have bad arcana.
Is there anything else you wanted to do in there, Donovan? Do you want to get a closer look at anything?
I don't think I want to get in there.
Did you just step in the room, though?
I think this doesn't allow. Whoa, that's a what?
So as you take your second step into that room, the glyphs around you seem to glow and fizzle. You feel almost a lightness, a gentle sideways movement. You then find yourself above the cobblestones, right by your friends. Although your y-axis is a wee bit different. You're about 30 feet in the air. And you're now plummeting. What do you want to do?
Oh.
I would like to prepare for a landing on the ground, I suppose.
Very well. So you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage when you hit the ground.
Ooh.
I believe you can fly.
Ouch.
Can I disengage? No, never mind.
All right. Let's go take a. Let's go
I
get
don't know. I think that's the last time I do something for you guys. Thanks for the suggestion.
Who the hell are you again? Why
The
you keep
first
following
and the
us?
last. That was the first thing you've done for us.
All right, you got 3 minutes left of the night. You said you wanted to do this and then check something else out. I missed what it was, Matthew.
Yeah, do we want to rest up for the night and then go check to the guy at the tavern tomorrow?
Sounds
And
good. You sleep well through the night, and you come back after a long day of perusing the markets, back for dinner time at the tavern. All of your friends there, and you run into Rainer Never Remember, who's very pleased to see you and says, come to my table. I have news.
Hello, Rainer. It's good to see you again.
Thank you so much for the work you did in your alley and your new manor in trying to protect citizens. The Harpers have owed me a favor for a while. I have collected. More than likely, from the description and the timing, the man Fala saw matches the description of Uster Floxen. He is a suspected member of the Black Network. Another North Ward resident claims he saw Uster enter the Grand Villa in the North Ward shortly after the fireball incident. The resident reported him to the City Watch because Uster looked suspicious. 2 City Watch constables spoke with Lord Grelhound, and he assured them that no one had broken into the estate and that everything was fine. The constable, having no grounds to get a search warrant, so they did not pursue the matter. Now let's see if I can find an appropriate spot in your journal.
All right.
Anyone have a preference?
We have a name.
Yeah, from Rainier. Here we go. Updated.
Ah, cool. Thank you.
Ustra Foxlin.
So that was an excellent session. Thank you all for being generous with me of the theater of the mind parts. And you garnered some good investigation. This one is definitely one filled with both intrigue, clues, and red herrings. So good on you for dealing.
Mm-hmm.
We might want to go next time. We might want to go check out the North Ward of the city and see if we can find any clues there. Maybe our little mechanical friend is hiding out there somewhere.
All right.
Good.
Specifically, where are you wanting to go in the North Ward?
I say we start with the location where he was spotted, and then
Okay.
go outward from there. What do y'all think?
All right. You mean for the villa that was just
an
referenced?
alternative thing would be we ignore the main quest and we do all of our faction stuff to boost our faction standing and then see what our factions are willing to do for us to help.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that.
We have like another 5 days of guarding the pooper scoopers. I
No,
think.
we already we completed that one.
Oh, we finished that.
Yeah, you did.
And just to put a nice little neat bow on top of the red herring, did Al's Arcana check do anything whenever Donovan set the glyphs off? Like, could he see anything extra from that?
What
just said they
he was
lit
able
up.
to tell was that they were not individual spells that he could recognize. It was definitely a language of magic, but it was more as if they went together, spelling out things across the floor. For what purposes, he could not tell.
That's going to bother me for a week.
I mean, he's a magic user. I want to be his friend. I don't really want to trash his place.
You're going to walk in there with the fireball necklace in your hand next time.
I mean, I'm wearing the fireball necklace.
That would
Like, I'm
be
ready
dangerous.
to throw down at, like, any moment.
But you are or you are not wearing it?
He is.
Okay.
I might want to hide that under your shirt.
No way. I want people to know I mean business. I've got my new power suit on and I'm wearing a fireball necklace.
The power of youth.
And the idiocy as well.
All right.
I did dump wisdom.
All right, so this was pretty good, folks. Thank you so much. Apologize for the shortness, but we did very well. And I'll still be available for chat, but I'll be out of town for a bit. But I'll be good to go for next Wednesday. Is everybody still good for Wednesday, or was there a difficult spot there?
Wednesday's
I thought
good for
somebody
me.
said.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out of state.
Do you want to go for a different day that week, Toby, or would it be easier just to skip it?
Yeah, I'm a 5-day backpacking trip.
Oh, okay. So, folks, I leave it up to you. You all want to skip a week then? Because Toby's been very good at appearing at everything else, and he's a good key player.
I mean, if we wanted to,
Yeah.
I'm not saying we have to, but it's an idea. We could do a Saturday session, and it'd be like 5 hours if anyone wanted to do that.
I'm willing to
place.
do a Saturday session just fine. I don't think I can do 5 hours.
Okay.
I could do a Saturday
I could
for
do it.
however long.
I would.
I may be in and out on a Saturday, but
Me?
All right, let's explore what times, if anybody has preferences on Saturday. But I'm willing to pick up a Saturday since we miss Wednesday. If somebody wants to propose times that works best for everyone.
I mean,
Anytime
is
is
everyone
good.
free? Is everyone free the
Same.
same times, 6 to 9?
I am, but I would sort of prefer actually if we could do it earlier in the day so I can still have evening and dinner time, since it is a weekend when everybody's available at my house.
What about
Ending
4
at
to 7?
6 or 4 to 7 is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect that I'll be available at all next week.
Oh, even the Saturday?
Yeah, the Saturday is like, I think I'll be on the road then.
It
Why don't
sounds
we
like we
just-
should skip
yeah.
then.
We can skip next week, and then we'll start back up on the 14th.
Works for me.
Yeah.
All right. So I've
Yep.
deleted the 8th. I don't know why it's on the 8th.
We could also do faction quests then as
Yeah, I was
well.
thinking that.
That is
You
true.
could
Yeah.
do that, yeah.
We could.
I will point out something that you might have missed. Several of you, when you did a faction quest, she specifically said to you, "Come back when you're stronger." Although you have level. You're level.
Yeah,
3 now.
we've leveled up since then.
I forgot. Okay, so faction quests are an option. Some of them I would also be willing to do privately, purely through text with you, as long as we keep the dice rolls on the level. We could do it through D&D Beyond, probably be the easiest way. So yes, we
Toby,
can do
would you
that.
be fine with us doing faction quests without you?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
I mean, they could do it all individually. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see if I can handle doing it through my phone. I can do it next week once I'm home.
Same.
That'd be easier.
Yeah, I was saying we could do it on like the normal Wednesday, and we just do however long we can run our faction quests for.
All right. Well, we could do it as a group for factions, as long as we stay away from whatchamacall, Lord's Alliance.
Yeah.
Which one's that again?
All right.
The guy that we were talking to with like in
the bar.
He's in
Yeah.
the yawning
Okay.
portal.
Okay.
the
All right.
the guy who's like come
All
back, come back tomorrow. I'll have more info.
Oh, got it.
That was Rainer. Never remember who gave you the more info.
Oh yeah.
He was owed a favor by the Harper's Guild, which we still need to do for Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
I think there's no reason you guys can't have a fun session without me.
All right,
Okay.
so we'll just do that part. All right.
All right then.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. All I appreciate it a lot. Good luck
Thank
with
you.
untangling this knot.
Yeah.
You'll take care. All
You too.
All right.
Later, all.
right. Bye.
See ya.
All right. Good
Bye
night.
bye.